Hi, everybody. Happy New Year. It's Alan Ross, President and CEO of AJ Ross Creative Media, and welcome to Creative Marketing on WTBQ. A little bit about AJ Ross Creative Media. We're a full-service marketing and advertising agency, and we're located in Chester, New York. Our mission and belief is to provide winning strategies, great creative, and interactive solutions that continually get results for our clients. Each week, we'll be discussing different topics and trends that can help market your business. If you'd like to call and ask a question or want to give your input, call us at 845-651-1110. Again, 845-651-1110. And we are also streaming on Facebook.com/AJ Ross Creative. Again, Facebook.com/AJ Ross Creative. Today, well, that's the end of the show. I mean, with all this beginning stuff, it's. I think we've done the show, huh?
Yeah, that was the shortest show yet. Then.
Anyway, today, as usual, I have the principals of AJ Ross, myself, Carlos Vega, and Matt Ross. Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Happy New Year. You glad to be back? Truth.
No.
Okay.
No, I was getting used to sleeping in.
Oh man, it was wonderful. But you know what? Our clients need our help, and we need whatever. So,
I could still use an extra day.
Well, you're going to need an extra day for the next 16 years with the little boy.
Yeah,
You know, so
he gave me a special gift this year for Christmas.
What did he give you?
A cold.
That you'll get a lot of the wait till he goes back to school. Wait till he starts going to school and picks up all the colds from the other kids.
Yeah. Here, I'll just be this way for the entire season.
Yeah. Let's do a couple quotes, okay?
A couple. All right.
One quote.
All right. See if we get through one, then we'll go for another.
The man who stops advertising to save money is like the man who stops the clock to save time.
Yeah, that's a long-standing one.
You know who said that?
You just now.
Yeah, but you said it's a long-standing one. Well, who's the one who did the quote?
I don't know.
Thomas Jefferson. It is a long-standing
It's a long-standing one.
And value, something that people want or need. It could be a product or service. It could be a solution to their problems or something that brings the joy or both. So that leads us into, first of all, moving forward in the new year and talking about, value of your company and brand.
Which is really important, and we talk about brand a lot, but value goes into, perception, how people see you, how people look at your company overall, and that comes from the main things that we always talk about, consistency, and as you always say, person to person, the actual individuals they're engaging with in your company.
Right. Yep. So there you have brand value. And we're going to get literal here until we loosen up and get to where we're going. But we mentioned brand equity and brand value. Now, what I looked up, what's the word I'm looking for? Brand equity refers to value premium that a company generates from a product with a recognizable brand compared to a generic equivalent. Does that make?
We're talking about a dollar value of worth of the brand, rather.
Brand equity also can be what the brand is worth to the public and the value
the
of
name
its name.
can be worth certain things. Oreo, the actual name was worth more than the whole company liquid. If you just were to liquidate the whole company, the actual brand name itself was worth more than that entire company.
And there's brand personality.
There is.
And that is a set of human characteristics that are attributed to a brand's name.
See, that reads like stereo instructions.
Well, all right, let's move on. Let's go.
All right, so here's something interesting that I saw this morning on Ad Age that you left on my desk. The customer experience is dead. That's a huge headline right there.
Now, explain what Ad Age is to.
Ad Age is industry publication for advertising. So
a huge.
Yeah, this is probably the top.
Goes to all the main creatives and account executives all around the world that are involved in big agencies, including, So
This is the thing that goes into what we were talking about before. Content is king and all that other kind of stuff we kept talking about. And what they're talking about is a human experience has to come back to marketing, right? Back in the day, a lot of companies, and you still see this in print ads and all this, they'll do bullet points, they'll, do cutesy headlines, they'll do these kinds of things to try and seem a little clever or whatever else it is. But a lot of times they're missing the mark on reaching the people. Like those cutesy type headlines, they work to a certain degree if it's really making a product stand out or something like that. But a lot of times people are just trying to be too clever for their own good. And what they're talking about is that the human experience has to come back. That's where this video stuff is. It's about engaging people, person to person, as you always say, and online, not ignoring the individuals, really staying in touch with them and engaging them with your brand.
Well, that's what we were talking about last time about pop-up venues now.
Pop-up stores, those experiences.
Those are big ones, and they're all for, millennials and...
Not even. I ended up standing in our line for 3 hours to go see a Friends display in the city.
Really? You went to the city?
No, this was a couple years ago.
Oh, okay. But, I think people... and are getting tired of just staying home and texting and Skyping. The human experience is it's the way I came up. I mean, it seems to, you call a company and they have voicemail that opens up or, click here. I mean, that's not the human experience.
No.
Now, I will tell you a company that, probably one of the biggest in the world that has the best experience, and that's Amazon. And I'm going to tell you why. First of all, when you order Prime or something on Amazon, you get it when they say you're going to get it. If you don't like it, you put it back in the box and you get a refund. If you have a problem, you get on the phone and somebody fixes it immediately.
Is Amazon a new client? Because that sounded like a plug.
That's one of the, people say, well, they're a big company. I don't shop anywhere else except Amazon on most of my stuff.
Yeah, because they have made it a great experience.
Because I know that what I buy, and it might be a few cents or a few dollars more, but usually not, I know I'm going to get the product, and if I don't like that product, I'm going to send it back, and if I have a problem sending it back, I'm going to get somebody on the phone real quick. And my wife, Linda, for some reason, they didn't deliver a package, whatever. They give her $30 plus the package. I mean, who does that?
Well,
that's
right.
been a big push from Amazon since the beginning. Is they're willing to take a hit in dollars, to make sure that the experience works for the customer.
Right, and you can get somebody on the phone, which is very difficult sometimes. With I don't mean to. I mean, sometimes you get someone on the phone, you don't even understand them.
And, Matt and I were actually talking about this with music. We're all musicians. And a company I stumbled across is called Sweetwater. And I'm one that usually is pretty, I like to shop local and all this other kind of stuff, and I still do. But they blew me away with their customer service because I bought just a little marker pen, $2 pen from them as like a stocking stuffer a few years ago. I got a phone call. Just to say, hey, I'm your personal rep. How was your experience? Did you get your package all right? Follow-up emails and everything. So it's such an amazing experience that I go back there all the time, and they're always super friendly. They're always let me know about deals. They let me know if they can match something. I actually go out of my way to use a service that's in another state.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't hurt that they literally send you candy with every package.
And they send candy with every package. Yes, they do.
Well, what do you call that? That's personal...
That's the
human touch. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're not shopping in their store, but they're making it almost like you are shopping in their store. And you go into some stores and the sale. Well, do you know why Sears is going under? They're
liquidating everywhere.
Do you know that Sears was years before Amazon had on? They were the first online selling of products, and they didn't take advantage of it. And the last time I went to Sears, it was about 4 years ago. My wife had a knee replacement and I hadn't gone to Sears in a long time. My wife, we needed a bike, one of those, whatever they're called. And we went there, and there were like 3 people trying to get the business because they're only on commission.
Yeah.
And they're fighting each other. Who wants to be around that? You know, and also somebody bought the company and didn't know what they were doing. And now the biggest company at one time that I grew up to
Yeah, me too.
is going out. They're done.
Yeah.
Another one, Apple. Now, everyone in the 3 of us, a new phone comes out, we get it. Well, you know what? I have a 7S or a 7, whatever. I haven't changed it. You know why? Because the value of what they're offering and the money they're charging, it ain't worth it. And I wish I would have thought about this when I should have sold the stock for a while. It's going to come back up. But they're not keeping up with technology. They're not keeping up. They got a little arrogant. You know what I mean? So, you know, even a company, but Amazon, I got to tell you, I mean, this is what I point out to my clients, our clients. You have to, you know, it's all about your product and what you're selling to somebody. First of all, the product has to be excellent, which is part of your brand. Second of all, are you going to take care of these clients when they do have this product?
Yeah, when they call, you know, they know they actually get somebody on the phone.
Okay, we got about a minute left before we go to break. Anyone reaching out to us? Or?
Yeah, actually, a few people on there, a couple of the normal regulars, and one of our old designers, Ariel, is
Oh, really?
on here as well, saying hi.
Ariel. She wow, she was wonderful.
Yeah.
She was a great designer.
Yeah, still is.
So I ask a question, Ariel. What do you want to talk about?
Well, really quickly, right before we go to break, to kind of wrap up, contribute to what you're saying about some of these older companies that have gone out of business. Something that we noticed is that, like, you know, Toys R Us, even their user experience on their website had completely gone out the window, leading up to them shutting down. So
Yeah.
it's important.
Toys R Us
Guess
and
what?
Babies
Someone
R Us.
they're thinking about coming back. Anyway, we're going to go to break. This is Alan Ross with Matt Ross and Carlos Vega, and this is Creative Marketing on WTBQ. We'll be right back.
A.J. Ross Creative Media is the premier marketing, advertising agency, web design, and social media company in the Hudson Valley. A.J. Ross connects their clients with prospective customers by generating powerful marketing and advertising concepts. Meet with the A.J. Ross team and you'll walk away with a new and innovative approach that'll bring your company to the next level. Contact the A.J. Ross team and set up a free consultation and get started with the best. Visit ajross.com.
Tired of commuting and want to save money and time? Then join the sales department at WTBQ. Whether you live in Orange County or northern New Jersey, and we'll even share a list of accounts and contacts. Commissions paid weekly. FST Broadcasting DBA WTBQ Radio is an equal opportunity employer. For more information, email Taylor at WTBQ.com.
Clark Howard. This is Clark Howard.
Every time I use an ATM, I shake where the card goes in to see if there's any looseness to it at all. If there is, I just automatically don't use that ATM.
Clark Howard, weekdays from 1 till 3.
Oh, nice music. Wow. Very mellow. It's time to go back. Hi, it's Alan Ross from A.J. Ross Creative Media with Matt Ross and Carlos Vega, and this is Creative Marketing. It is good to be back. I mean, this is the first thing we did coming back. We take a week off between Christmas and
New Year's, yeah.
This year was like 10 days, you know, so...
Yeah, not bad.
But if a client needed something, we're available and we answered the phone.
Yeah, everybody had everything we needed. At
You
the
know what I
house.
mean? So we all, but you know, I guess they took off too because there really wasn't a lot of emergencies going on.
No,
It
this is
was
a good year.
wonderful, you know. But it's good to be back, and so
Yeah, well, something that we started talking about a little bit is that you know, branding your company goes beyond just your logo, just beyond the colors that you use for your marketing. You know, you're talking about the person-to-person experience, the user experience, and that kind of thing. Something I was thinking about is how, you know, even something like architecture can be a part of your brand. Like Pizza Hut If you go by a place that used to be a Pizza Hut, since they've closed a lot of their single stores, you can tell, like, hey, this place, well, it's a burger place
Used
now,
to
but
be.
you can tell that it was a Pizza
Talking
Hut.
about Monroe.
Yeah, yes. And other places
back.
too, though. You know, you can
I
see.
thought, that's true. I thought they tore that one down. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can still see the places that used to be the Pizza Hut. You can tell, and so that's like a part of their brand where, you know, the place isn't even there anymore. But when I see it, I'm still thinking Pizza Hut.
Right. Well, it's also, let's talk about reputation. I mean, you know, it's, first of all, there's an old saying, you're as good as you are for what you did today, not yesterday. But reputation, you know, to get a good reputation is very hard. To get a bad reputation is really easy. And to get a good reputation, again, is almost impossible. So you kind of
Well, actually,
define what I just said, Carlos.
Well, actually, today in the news, Louis C.K. was in there for that exact same reason. He's trying to come back after the Me
heard
Too
about that,
accusations, and now he's under fire for making a joke about shootings at schools. So, I mean, while it's not a company, it's still a brand. It's the same thing. Individuals, and this is something that's always been talked about in the music industry and everything else, they are a brand. You know, the people that are out there representing your company, that's your brand. And you want to make sure those people are the kind of people you want representing you.
Well, believe it or not, I heard about that, and I heard, like, club owners, they say it's free speech. You could say what, I mean, they're welcoming him back with open arms. You know, I don't think he's going to get a show back on FX or anything like that. But that's where kind of the mood of the country is now. There's so many things being said from the top that are just, you know, that we're becoming immune to it, you know?
But that's also why the human experience is so important now, because everybody has a voice with the digital age.
Yes.
Everybody can come out and make it really well known without even being in the same proximity that they're unhappy about something.
Right.
And if that goes with your company, you know, just like any brand, you talk about Louis C.K., like, you know, Kevin Spacey was out there trying to do
you know,
something.
I will not watch a Kevin Spacey movie. I mean, there's what is it, Baby Driver or something? I have it. I won't watch it. From what I hear, what he was doing, I mean, you know, I just won't watch. And he's a brilliant actor. He's a brilliant.
Well, you can't look past it.
I can't look past it. I can't watch that movie.
Now, what could he do for you to get that brand back?
Well, not what he
Sometimes-
did the other day, coming on like
Exactly.
with the voice of whatever, you know, the Netflix thing he was on as president.
That's
he came,
one of his characters.
Now
right?
that's man is ill. There's something loose. You know what I mean? His brand's dead. He will, you know.
But that's just it. You know, that one person could have tanked that show. And we've seen that happen over and over again. People get kicked off shows. Roseanne just got kicked off and all this because they didn't want it to affect the brand of that show, the readership. The same goes with a company. One person offsetting everything. And we've had some interesting characters over the years.
Yes, we have.
You know, can really affect a company.
Yeah, it's something that really, you know, the best salespeople for a company, big or small, are the people that are working for you.
Yes, the ones actually doing the work. every
They're the
single
one,
day.
you know, I've always believed that if you take care of the people that you, first of all, they have to be really good. Well, we know that. Well, you guys are now partners, but before you weren't, you know, but I always took care. I mean, we've had our ups and downs as far as creative and thoughts, but that's the creative
creative
way.
process.
But, you know, you want to make sure that the people that you work with are happy where they are. I mean, the company, we all have our houses. You know, we
gotta
all
make a safe
We
environment,
already have
comfortable
we we're comfortable. We have to work harder, but you know, it's all about the people that are working. And well, again, the gatekeeper. Like I called the client just now, and someone answered, and I guess I'm used to when somebody calls, we say it's AJ Ross Creative Media, Carlos speaking. Okay, so I just called and they said blah 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 blah, and it was like silent. I'm used to saying so and so calling. But it was friendly, but it was not something.
It wasn't as personable.
It wasn't
as
as
you'd want, yeah.
personable as I would expect. But it's a hell of a lot better than going and saying, oh, well, if you want to speak to so-and-so, click here and click there.
Those automated services.
Yeah. So, but the difference between a big company like, say,
Apple.
Toys R Us or Apple, if they make a mistake, they got a lot of money that they can help fix it.
Yeah.
A smaller company, someone, you don't have that. You're not positioned to, once your brand is gone, it's gone. I mean, look at some of the politicians that have been disgraced and gone. I mean,
Yeah, well, there's a difference, too, between taking missteps with your brand, your reputation. If we're talking the person-to-person style, taking missteps with people, you can make amends. Really doing something wrong out there that just hurts the community or the people or your customers, that's something that you really just can't get past. I mean, every company makes mistakes. Things happen. And you take steps to fix it for a client.
and that's called crisis management.
Yeah. Well, crisis management, yes. That's more of, building that brand reputation back up and trying to help. That's a big thing in politics as well as Hollywood and all that. But when it comes to just our everyday company, like I said, things happen. We put an ad in the paper. Maybe it didn't run when it was supposed to, but we take care of that for a client.
Right.
We make sure that they get something out of it. We apologize, of course. We find out why it didn't run. Usually it's something to do with the publication.
But, another thing, out of the blue, I'm going to bring it up. When we work, a couple of our clients say, we work our butts off, we get it together. And I said, okay, so where we go from now? Well, you got to pay us. Oh, well, you going to hold? Well, you go to the grocery store and say, I'll pay you next week? No, you get paid when the money's due.
Wimpy always did that with hamburgers.
Yeah.
Next Tuesday.
So, it's two sides of a coin.
Yeah,
So.
and a lot of the bigger damage comes when people try to bury the issues as they come up. So the best approach is always to address the things when they happen and not try to brush it under the rug or whatever. Actually do something about it and handle it.
Yeah.
Well, there was a stat I remember we were looking at a while ago saying that something like 70-something% of customers actually trust your brand more if you acknowledge a mistake and just say, hey, here's what we'll do to fix it versus just trying to pretend it never happened and hoping people don't notice. Because people will notice.
Yeah, and they hang on to that.
Yeah.
If you have a bad experience that doesn't get resolved, you hang on to that until forever.
There's companies I won't buy a product from no matter how much I like it anymore, or places I won't go to.
Oh, no, if someone, it's just, look, there's always someone better or a place better than you are. It's, and what you're doing, someone else has already done it anyway. You know what I mean? Except for Steve Jobs, what he did with this iPhone and iPad. I mean,
but he had to come back. That was the comeback.
But there's a certain, it's like Edison when he did the phones there's once in not even a generation, once in 100 years, someone comes across that this changes everything. I mean, Apple or Steve Jobs changed from the Industrial Revolution to the Technical Revolution. I mean, he's one of the guys, and I guess Bill Gates and those guys with Microsoft. So, but they're starting to get lazy now, as we were discussing. There's nothing new coming up. I mean, why would I want to pay? I just paid off all our phones, our iPhones, which are wonderful. Why should I go and get another $1,000 because the camera's better? There's nothing really.
Yeah, they haven't been really drawing everybody in with everything.
So now what Apple's doing is getting into TV, getting into other things because whatever it's
Technology.
called. Technology is they're not keeping up.
Yeah. Well, one thing that Microsoft is doing in recognizing a fault is they're reprogramming Microsoft Internet Explorer using Chrome as their base. They're still going to call it Microsoft Edge, but they're basically taking the step forward and saying okay, we've been doing it, not saying it outright, but it's pretty
they
clear
should own that. They've been killing the internet for years.
Yeah, they're saying okay, we did some injustice with Internet Explorer, so let's take a step in the right direction.
Well, it's not that they did injustice. they're like 30 years behind the time.
Well,
I
yeah.
mean, and unfortunately, a lot of your big corporations are still using, what is it, 97 or whatever. I mean, and when you do a website and you program it, you have to reprogram it for Explorer.
And
which is-
sometimes you can't even program everything for Internet Explorer.
Yeah.
There's certain limitations we've had to put into websites
Yep.
and functionality we had to take out.
Well, we got a minute left, so I'm going to go around the room. What do you see coming up in 2019 that you're excited about, Carlos?
Well, actually, the crazy winter we had and the new influx of clients that are coming in.
And they're
So-
good
some-
ones, too, yeah.
There's some really exciting jobs that we're working on and some potential stuff coming through that could be really a lot of fun.
Matthew?
Well, hopefully, if things go according to plan, this should be the year that the new Mac Pro comes out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's going to be a dollar sign, but if it's
That'll
an
be worth
investment that if it lasts as long as the computer I have now lasts, I'll be using it in 2029. So
Okay. And what I'm looking forward to in 2019 is maybe becoming a grandfather.
we'll see who. We'll see.
Anyway, everybody, it's good to be back. We'll be back next week. This is Alan Ross and Carlos Vega and Matthew Ross. And I'm going to get my butt kicked from my son because he's already turning red. So welcome, and we'll see you next week. This is Creative Marketing on WTBQ. Thanks.